Hey guys, today I'm gonna make a follow-up video, an update video on my tropical, subtropical trees, particularly the ones from DALEYS that I got over the last couple of months. And I just want to show you the amount of rain we've had here in the location where I am. I'm in the east to southeast suburbs of Melbourne, and check out how much rain we've had. I mean, that's a lot of rain for summer. We normally don't get much rain at all. Usually, well, as it says there, the average is 53 millimeters for the month of February. And so far, we've had 100 millimeters with a week to go. And as you can see, the record has been 200 millimeters 9 years ago. Even though that sounds pretty good, pretty damn good actually, we normally get 10 to 20 millimeters in February, and today of course we got 40. Look at that, 40 on the 19th. Amazing to get that much rain in summer. Check out the other areas in the tropics. And here is the tropics. This is the Gold Coast of Australia. You can see a huge difference with where I am in Melbourne. They had 566 millimeters of rain this month, and that's only in the first 2 weeks. Wow, that's 5 times more rain than we've had here in Melbourne. And Melbourne has had a lot of rain, like 10 times more than normal. And yet the Gold Coast is still 5 times wetter than Melbourne. So when you combine all this rain, all this water, with this kind of heat, wow, of course there's going to be an explosion of tropical fruit trees. Oh yeah, I love starting with this one. This is one of my favorite looking fruit trees, the starfruit. I'm hoping I'll get lucky to make this video, because today's been a really windy and cold kind of summer day. And there hasn't been any sunshine till now, so I'm taking advantage of the sunshine right now, late afternoon. So there's the beauty of the carambola. Look at that. Look at those colors and the shine. I mean, even if this doesn't give us any fruit, I just love it as an ornamental. It flowers, but it hasn't given us any fruit yet, and I've had it for 6 years. Yeah, 6 years, man. No fruit yet on the starfruit. It usually flowers in March. So sometime in the next 2 weeks, it'll start flowering. It gave some flowers back in December, but that was like a false alarm, or a false start. So, oh geez, those hot rods. Yeah, so it dropped its flowers back in December, but it always flowers in March. So we'll come back and have a look at the starfruit in a couple of weeks. The beautiful carambola. Here we have the pavan. Strange name, probably named after someone, that's still flowering. The pavan variety mango. This is a mango, guys. Isn't that beautiful? So this seems to be a very late variety, because all my other mangoes have already finished flowering and setting fruit, but this one is a late one. It's been flowering and setting fruit since December, and now in late February it's still doing it. So unfortunately, none of the mangoes have held their fruit. So we'll see what the pavan does. There it is there. That's the name. And like I mentioned last week, I was right. The passion fruit did end up coming up with flowers. This morning they opened, and now in the afternoon they closed. I don't know what the deal is with that. So we have passion fruit flowers, guys. 1, 2, and one over there, 3. So I'm really excited about getting some passion fruit finally after the last 3 years without any. This is the star apple, not star fruit, but star apple. And it's come up with some new leaves. This one just opened like a week ago. Beautiful. Caimito is the Spanish name for this fruit tree. But in English we call it star apple. And it has many different names around the world. So it's given us some new leaves since I picked it up from DALEYS. New leaves, brand new leaves, which is always good, because in summer is the only time these guys will give us anything. In winter I'm going to be challenged with keeping this guy alive, let alone getting any new leaves from it. So I'm very excited with the star apple. This is like I said, a challenging fruit tree for the temperate climate zone, even here where I am. So that's the new growth that's come, the new leaves on the star apple, Caimito. Here's one of a few different varieties of papaya from DALEYS again. It's given us a few more inches of growth since I last filmed it a couple of weeks ago. So it's standing at about 10, 12, 12, maybe 13 inches in height. So it's doubled in height, more than doubled since I planted it back in I think late December, early January. So close to 2 months. It's looking pretty good. But like I told you back then, these things start to hop and move around the end of the season. This is a Richter Gold. They start moving around the end of summer, which is right now. Late February and March is late summer, and that's when they take off. Unfortunately, that's how papaya works here, and I haven't had much luck with them. As you can see, all this beautiful new growth, lovely new growth coming. But I wanted this back in December so that I could have had 2 months of growth, instead of just, you know, waking up. This is like waking up. Not much growth at all, but it's better than nothing. So I'm not really complaining. I'm happy that it's at least woken up. Let's see what happens over March and April. In contrast to the papaya, this one here is a babaco, coming with, always coming with new fruit. Look at that. New fruit for the new season. And these guys don't care whether it's summer, whether it's winter, or what the season is. They just keep producing. Babaco. This is mountain papaya, sour variety, also known as champagne fruit. So different to the tropical variety papaya I just showed you. Look at this. So easy to grow here in a temperate zone, outdoors. Babaco. Very, very different to the regular papaya. Oh guys, I wish my papaya would do this well. And here's another papaya. Yep, I have to get down on my knees to show it to you. The babaco is about 7 feet tall, over 2 meters. But not the papaya. Papaya's only, again, 12 to 13 inches. 12 to 13 inches, guys, after 2 months. 2 hot summer months. That's the Sri Lankan red from DALEYS. So once again, let's hope that it keeps growing through the end of summer into autumn and survives winter. They usually don't. And since I'm here, I've got a lot of other DALEYS plants. This is the jackfruit crisp seedling, and it's got its first signs of new growth right here. There it is, right there, new leaf, right in the middle. And that's about it on this one. But the other jackfruit next to it, the Kyogo Gold, wow, this one's a bit older. I got this a month before that one. This one's got a lot of new action going on. Look at this. New action, new action, new action, and so on. New action, and right at the top, look at that. New action. So this Kyogo Gold is doing really well, and its little brother next to it. I'm so tempted to plant this, guys, in the ground, but I won't. I gave it a new larger pot last week. It was in a pot this size, and I gave it a pot this size, almost twice the size, a week ago, because the roots were coming out from the bottom. Yeah, it was getting a root ball. So it's it's doing really well now that it's still warm. This is the black sapodilla, the Tahiti variety, black Tahiti, and that's pretty much looking as good as it was when I planted it. It's got new growth as well, all around, new leaves, holding on to some of the fruit that it had. It had about 20-30 fruit. Now it's been reduced to maybe 6 of these fruits. Hopefully they'll make it through winter. There's a few there, not much, actually only 3. Sorry, I thought there was more. 3 out of 20. Yeah, so most of them fell. That's the black sapodilla, chocolate pudding fruit. That one's in the ground. Remember, it replaced the Valencia Pride, which mysteriously died when I cut off its flowers. That there is a Davidson's plum, looking really good. A lot of new growth. A lot of new growth on the Davidson's plum. Beautiful. But still short. It's only about 2 feet tall. About 25 inches in height. Davidson's plum. In ground. And here is the Relinia, Brazilian custard apple. In ground. Doing very well as well, with a lot of new growth on the ends. They sort of look like this when they come. They're not perky. They're the opposite of perky. The new growth on the Relinia looks sad, but that's the style it has. It's not a problem. There's nothing wrong, guys. It's beautiful, actually. Look at that. Really nice. Rollinia. In ground. I got two of them. One here in the ground and another one in the pot. This one here is a seedling avocado, which grew as a volunteer. I did not purchase this. I did not plant it, and I had absolutely nothing to do with its arrival here. It's a volunteer from the compost. And wow, look how well it's done. I put it into a pot, in two pots. Small and now a large one. So it's doing really well as a volunteer seedling, unknown seedling avocado. And there's another one. Another volunteer seedling avocado. Doing just as well. And I put that into a large pot last week because it was getting quite vigorous in its smaller pot. Unknown variety avocado seedling from the compost heap. This is the poshti. Custard apple, which I got from DALEYS, and that also is doing its thing here with that familiar drooping new growth, like the Rollinia. Droop. They droop when they come, the new growth. So that's the very little known poshti, rare variety of custard apple. Here we have the lychee or lychee tree that I got last spring, late spring. It's got some new growth. It had some fruit, but it dropped all its fruit back in January. So evidently it was way too early for fruit, being its first season, but it's getting all this new growth, which is what we want instead. So I'm pretty happy about that. On the lychee, we call it lychee in Australia. I know it's lychee everywhere else in the world. Very happy with this new young tree. In ground. This is the longan, which I planted together with the lychee back in spring. When I say spring, I mean October. October, November, guys. And it looks like they're holding on, unlike the lychee, which dropped. So there is a chance we'll get some longan, maybe, here in Melbourne. Just to start off its first year here in Fruitopia. I'm not sure, they might drop. Cross your fingers, guys, with me. But there hasn't been any new growth, and that's not good. We always prefer new growth to fruit in a young new tree. Longan, the lychee's cousin. In ground, by the way, just for the record. This is American pawpaw that we planted the end of last winter in August. It's got a very sad look I'm not sure. Maybe that's normal for the American pawpaw. When we've had a lot of rain, we got a lot of rain, right? As I told you at the beginning of the video. A lot more rain than usual for summer. So this one's looking a little sad. But other than that look, close up I can see that it's quite happy. And over here we have another American pawpaw looking a little better. Not as droopy. A little better than the first one. A little better. So the other one has been in full sun. This one hasn't. It's been in almost full shade. So I think they're both fine. Just getting themselves established or acclimated to the climate here in Melbourne. I don't think there's a problem. It's just their nature to look this way. American native pawpaw. Nothing to do with papaya. And here's another DALEYS papaya variety. This is variety number 3. Torpedo. This is showing the least amount of growth out of all the ones I've shown you, but still has grown to twice the height of what it was when I planted it. It's sitting at around 10 inches, so around a foot. I think the other ones were about 14 or 15 inches. So as we come back, oh, the sun's back out. Oh, great. Nothing like a bit of sunshine to light up your videos. Thank you very much, nature. Changes everything, doesn't it? I was getting a little worried. Maybe I should put off the video for another day. Oh, I don't think so. I think this will do just fine. Just giving you guys a quick view overhead. We have a banana up there which just opened last week. There you go. Very nice. Always nice to get a new banana, especially in summer. The Pinkerton avocado. Star fruit. And off we go to the next one. Here's another papaya. This is also a torpedo, like the one I just showed you. But in this location here, they're all planted on the same day, by the way. This one is done a little better. It's about 15 inches in height and happier. It's getting more sun. The other one's getting a lot of shade. And papayas prefer sun, right? I told you when I started this experiment, I was going to put them in different locations just to test different angles and different amounts of light and different soil, different compost. We've got to work this out, guys. I've got to get to the bottom of why papaya is so difficult in my temperate climate zone. Because when I go up to the subtropics, you won't believe how easy this is to grow. Everyone's growing papaya. In the back, in the front of their gardens, it grows like grass. And it's cold there in winter. So, what's going on? This is the Barbados cherry, acerola. Wow. It's grown at least 2 feet since I planted it back in December. So now it's 1, 2, 3, wow, almost 3.5 feet. It's over a meter. Yep, it's almost 4 feet. So this one's going like crazy compared to the papaya. Wish the papaya was this tall. That would make me so happy. As tall as this acerola. It's a tropical cherry. Very nice. Very, very nice. That's the kind of growth we like to see in 2 months. Look at that. Nice. Nice. Thank you. This is the Panama berry, also called the strawberry tree in the United States. Panama berry here in Australia. Okay, and it's doing reasonably okay. It's doubled, maybe tripled in height and width. Okay, but the big test for this will be winter. This does not like wet feet. I've already had one of these, killed it, just like the acerola. They don't like to sit in water in winter. They don't mind in summer. Very temperamental. I'm gonna do the guavas just quickly, right? These are doing really good, right? They're not as sensitive as the trees I just showed you. Guava is a bit more like at the same level as citrus. So when we speak guava, we're speaking oranges and lemons as far as hardiness and difficulty. Very easy to grow any guava in a temperate climate zone, warm temperate. I don't know about the UK, but here in Victoria and Tasmania, not a problem. Not a problem whatsoever. I've heard people have problems growing guavas here in Melbourne or Sydney, and it's like, are you kidding me or what? All of these guavas. Red Malaysian, okay? Mexican cream. Look at it. Look at this. I'm not even pampering them. Only giving them water and compost tea, okay? And this is the China pear guava. Magnificent. Couldn't do any better. And this one is the purple, the so-called purple guava. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Guava, guava, guava. Here's a sapodilla, which almost died on me last summer, but I kept it just in case. And guess what? Look, just in case, it's come back to full life. It's resurrected from the dead. Chiku, Chiku is the other name it has, and it's come back like a champ. And speaking of Chiku, sapodilla, here's another one that I put in the ground back in late spring. And guess what that caused it to do? From being almost dead, if you go back to my videos in spring, you'll see what I mean. From being almost dead, it's fully recovered, just like that one there. And it's got all this new growth coming. See those little red leaves? Thank you very much. Beautiful. I think I'm gonna get some success with the sapodilla. Finally, you won't believe how many years I've had this guy in a pot. 7 years he was in a pot, and he was always dying and coming back. Dying and coming back. And I thought, what the hell is going on with you? And now that it's in the ground, some trees don't like pots, evidently. So we'll see what happens this winter. For the last 7 winters, it was always dying back to a stick. We'll find out in June, July, if things have changed with this sapodilla. Another purchase from DALEYS was this moringa. And yeah, it's looking great. It's looking good. Very lush, very green. Lots of new growth. And very happy. But guys, very small. Still only 10 inches from the ground in 2 months. So I don't know what to say. I mean, it's good that it's alive. Of course, in summer everything's gonna be alive unless it gets burnt. And it's green and it looks happy, but I would be happier if it was up to, well, as tall as these tamarillos. That's when I would be happy, right? If it was that tall. Look at that. And look at those. So we'll find out what's coming up for this guy as the temperatures cool down in March, April. Moringa, drumstick tree. Believe it or not, I got a third sapodilla. I really want to succeed with this fruit, guys. This is the chiku. I really want to succeed with growing these. I got this one from DALEYS. So I've got 2 now in pots and 1 in the ground. There's a little teeny weeny bit of new growth just sprouting just there. And over here there's the Davidson's plum, by the way, from the other side. Look at that. Pretty good, huh? Nice. Over here is one of 2 abuse. One of my all-time favorite fruits. This together with a star apple. Star apple and abu. Oh my God. Talking about going to heaven. Dying and going to heaven. But the thing is, once again, they're truly tropical. That means good luck growing these north of Sydney. I'm south of Sydney. South of Sydney means I need not luck, I need double the luck on the abu and star apple. And I'm happy to report a lot of new growth over summer, of course. So we'll see what happens as we get colder, as we get towards winter when it's colder. Another one that's almost as difficult as the abu is this guy next to it. This is the canistel, or Ross sapoti. So it's related to the egg fruit, yellow sapoti. And these are out of this world. If you've never had canistel, well, you won't have one down here in Melbourne. You'll have to go to the tropics to taste one. And I don't mean the subtropics, I mean the true tropics. I never saw one on the Gold Coast. I only saw these up in far north Queensland, together with the abu. Abu, canistel, rollinia, the sapodilla, far north Queensland. Forget about the subtropics, unless you know a grower. But there's not many growers there. Everyone's, I don't know what they're doing. They're in the shopping mall up there on the Gold Coast. Very few people are into growing tropical fruit because it's so humid, so hot. So the last thing people want to do is be outside here enjoying nature. All right, and they're missing out. I don't know what they're missing out on. Here's another abiu, and it's doing just as well as the first one I showed you, which is just there. They look the same, don't they? Abiu and Canistel. And this is the Kensington Pride, grafted in the ground, and we didn't get any fruit from it. So this is the second summer. Summer number 2. It's just about finished. 2 years in the ground on this one, and it dropped all its fruit. And I'm okay with that. I'm gonna let the mangoes now do what they want. No more wishing or washing or messing around with them. Just let them flower, let them drop their flowers, let them fruit, let them drop their fruit, and when they're ready on their terms, we'll get our fruit. There's another Canistel egg fruit. Here's another mango, 2 of them here. This is the Alfonso, the prized Alfonso from India. My pride and joy, together with the Valencia Pride, which I lost. But I'll get another one of those. And this one is the Quan mango. Very, very happy. Very, very healthy. These are all in pots. All of them are in pots. Of course they are. Except for the Kensington Pride. Pots, pots, pots everywhere. And last, before we go out to the front, guys, the cherry moya. One of 2 cherry moyas I have. That's still flowering. Haven't seen any fruit yet on either of them, but not a problem. Like I said with the mangoes, I'm gonna let the trees do their thing on their terms. And here we have an abundance of pepinos. Wow. All year round cantaloupes, mini cantaloupes. Highly recommended, guys. Highly recommend pepino fruit. Look at this. Anytime you want to have a melon, they're always happy to hang here and wait for you to come. Look. Look how big it is. That's ready to eat, this one. There's about 50 of them on this hedge. Pepino. Look at that hedge on both sides. Very easy to grow. All right, this is the native Australian tamarin. Australian tamarin. Okay? Doing really good. Very happy. Always happy to see it. That's its year 2 concluded. And coming into its 3rd year. First year in a pot. 2nd year in ground. And coming into year number 3. Australian native tamarin. Couldn't be happier with this guy. Oh, and speaking about big guys, check out the ice cream bean. The Inga edulis. It's pushed past 5 meters now. And entering 6 meters. The ice cream bean. It's loaded with baby fruit, which come in winter here in our temperate climate. June, July, August. The heart of winter is when we enjoy these beans, the sweet cotton candy of the ice cream bean. And there's the other cherry moya. I haven't seen any fruit in this yet, but this is becoming a monster-sized tree. I'm so rapt about this. I'm not going to hand pollinate it. There's so much fruit that I could be getting if I was hand pollinating all these little guys. See these? This is related to the custard apple. Look at them, they're everywhere. Just saying, oh, hand pollinate me, hand pollinate me, hand pollinate me, hand pollinate me. But no, I'm not going to pollinate anything. They can pollinate themselves. The tree now is 3.5 meters in height and about 3 meters in width. Cherry Moya, Fino de Hete variety. Fino de Hete, Jette. Okay, it's getting smothered by these what do you call them? Red Dhaka bananas, which have never fruited. I've had these guys for 10 years. 10 years and they've never set fruit. But you never know, this might be the year. So we'll see what happens with the bananas, the cherry moya, and the ice cream bean. Do you guys remember this black sapodilla back in December when the leaves were burnt? When we had 40 Celsius? They were like black, 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 and I was pulling them off. Oh, here's one. They were like this, but like really black, like really damaged from the heat wave. Guess what? Just like I told you, just like I predicted, brand new leaves all around. Every single stem is covered now with brand new tropical, beautiful chocolate pudding fruit black sapodilla leaves. How's that? Pretty amazing, huh? And I thought I saw some fruit coming. Or maybe I was imagining it. Yeah, maybe. Remember guys, this is an 8-year-old tree that nearly died on me 3 or 4 years ago in the ground. And I had to put it back in a pot. So it recovered. And when it finished recovering, I put it back in the ground. And now it's exploded with recovery. So that's black sapodilla number 2. Doing oh so good. Okay, that was the back. Now we're in the front. Oh man, what have we got here? Huge clusters of bananas. I have to move them out of the way to expose this guy. Check out this mango. This is the oldest mango I have. The Glen. The only mango that's ever fruited for me. In ground, not in a pot. And guess what happened this summer to this guy? Can you guess by looking at it? It has exploded with growth. So, when you don't get any fruit on a small tree, guess what that means? It means the tree wants to grow instead of fruit. Because it's one or the other. It's going to take from one and give to the other. Look at that. Look at this. Whoa. Look at that. Huh? How beautiful is this? Flush of mango. Yep. So that's what it's decided to do. And if it keeps going on like that, it's going to finally become a real tree, rivaling this one, the pineapple guava, which again, as I said earlier, do very, very well here in Victoria. Everyone should have pineapple guava. Everyone should have any guava. So this mango I'm so proud of it. It didn't give me any fruit, but it's gonna give me a lot of pride and joy when it gets to be as big as this pineapple guava. The Glen. So what mango should you grow in Melbourne? Well, try any of them. I'm trying 6 different varieties, but this one here is the one I've had the most success with. The Glen. Glen with 2 N's. G-L-E-N-N. And this is the latest papaya I got from DALEYS 2 weeks ago. Remember, I planted it in the ground with another papaya? Well, guess what? The other papaya died, didn't make it. Not a problem. It was just a straggler, a leftover. But this broadleaf is still alive. The slugs ate the leaves on top when I planted it. It was my mistake. I should have taken more care by installing a rack so the birds wouldn't come and, you know, scratch away all the dirt. But I did that the next day. The leaves were gone from the tip, but they'll come back. It's in good shape. The actual stem, the stem is doing fine. Just gotta wait now for new growth. Yeah, guys, you need a lot of passion to make it through with these challenges here in the temperate zones of Australia. And this is black sapodilla number 3, the one that looked like it was dying over summer. Remember I told you back in December, January, it was dropping all of its leaves, like these leaves. And I panicked again. No need to panic, guys. Just be patient. Look. Look at this. Look at that. Brand new growth. Brand new. It's like getting a new car or a new house when you see this. When you see dead leaves like this, they make you sad, right? And you cry. It's like having an old car that's full of rust and keeps breaking down, or won't start when you turn the key. You really want to cry, don't you? Well, guess what? In the plant kingdom, you get a brand new car with spring. Hang on, it's very windy. You get a brand new car every time there's new flush. Whether it's in spring, summer, or whenever the tree decides to reward you. Look at this. Look at all this brand new growth on our chocolate pudding fruit, tropical black sapodilla. No more tears. I am so happy. Look. And these guys, just forget about them. Just forget about them. Look at this. Yum, yum, yum. Black sapodilla number 3. Coming back in full force. Well, in nature's way of full force. Huh? Beautiful. Right to the top. So happy. Well, that's what brings me joy, guys. I mean, I wouldn't mind a brand new car every season, but we'll leave that to the people who are in that position. We'll just stick with our tropical fruit trees. And right next to this black sapodilla, another delight that I get to enjoy every single day. This Wampy is subtropical. It's in the citrus family, and it's also doing really good with a lot of new growth. Look at this. It's fruiting and setting new growth at the same time. And we're gonna have fruit from this in about a month. Yep. These fruit in March. Wampy from China. Wampy from China. It's a very slow growing tree. Others say it's fast growing. I haven't had that luck. Mine's been really slow, but that's all right. Not a problem. I've got a lot of trees here, guys. So when one is slow, I just let it do its thing and move on to those that are fast. Look at this, it's even flowering. Wow, I just saw this now. It's almost ready to give us fruit, and it's setting a flower. How weird is that? There's another flower coming here. Hang on. There, flower bud. There. So the Wampy, it's got an incredible taste, unlike anything else I've ever tried. Hard to explain it. I would say brown sugar combined with some kind of Indian masala spice. Wow. Can you believe that? In a fruit tree. Come on, guys. Let's get tropical. Let's get wild with these amazing rare fruits. I wonder how many of you are still watching. Well, only the hardcore viewers or subscribers will still be here. And by the way, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, so I can keep making more of these videos. Give me more motivation when I see subscribers and comments. This here is, believe it or not, a tropical red Australian papaya called Southern Red Bisexual. So it's a self-pollinator, and I've had this guy for about 4 years in this position. What happens is he grows really nice, like he's growing now, over summer and autumn, and then in winter he dies back. He dies back to the trunk. And look at this trunk. Look how thick it is compared to my fingers. Huh? Like a tree. Like a big tree. So I have to cut him here every year, and then in spring he says hello, side shoot, and he shoots out a new stem. He's been doing this to me every year for 4-5 years. Look at this little trickster. Keeps coming back. But in winter he dies. And it's root rot, of course. So I've put sand in here. I've mixed sand in here. Right? Sand. I put this over the top so it doesn't have any water sitting in the trunk up here. Right? Up there. Where is it? In there. So you won't get root rot, or to lessen the chances. In Australia we call these guys pawpaws. Papaya is called pawpaw. I don't know why. One of those strange things. And he's growing right underneath my lemon guava, which is a champion of a fruit tree. Highly recommend. This is the guava I can recommend the most for Melbourne. Okay, the yellow lemon, what's it called? Yellow cherry guava, we call this in Australia, but it's called the lemon guava in America. So that's going to be fruiting next month at the end of March. Must have one of these. And of course you guys saw the Grumi Chama a couple of weeks ago. That all finished. We didn't get a good crop, but the good news is it's setting new flowers now in at the end of summer. So flowers, as I told you, there weren't many flowers when I filmed it a couple of weeks ago, and now it's covered in flowers all around. So we're going to get another crop of these sometime in autumn on the Grumi Chama. I have another mango seedling here, or the rootstock of a mango, which I'm guessing is a Bowen. Yeah, the graft died a few years ago, and I've had this in a pot growing in its own way. And a few months ago, I put this in the ground to replace a dead pomelo. You can see the video that I have, and well, it hasn't done too well. But now at the end of summer, it's sort of doing something, right? I've had to cut back a lot of dead growth. So we'll see what this mango does over the next few months. It's right next to where I planted the new banana last week. I know this is overwhelming. It's way too much to take in. But for you hardcore tropical fruit lovers, this is like orgasmic. This is the white sapodilla. And it's going nuts. Guess what I just saw on the ground? Oh no. Could this be ready or just an accident? Looks like it got knocked over because it's still pretty hard. So I'm going to take this in and see if it softens and ripens. Our first white sapodilla for the season. Well, what do you know? I'll be making more videos on the white sapodilla and the avocados and bananas over the next few weeks. Just let these guys mature a bit more, because I think you got enough on your plate on this video today. Okay guys, we're gonna end it here. Thanks for watching. I really love making these videos because you can see my passion, right? And the passion is all about you being inspired to do the same, because I know it's doable, and I'm the living example here for myself and for all of you. You can see what is working and what is not working through my channel. This is the Paxton's prolific custard apple, the self-pollinating one, but hasn't hasn't set any fruit yet. So this time last year, it already had 1 or 2 fruit on its own, but this year, not yet. But there's a lot of flowers, so I'm hoping that over the next week, it'll have something going on. The custard apple. Okay, so again, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. And we'll see you from the next video. Thanks.